face. Who can't like these things? These are the cutest of all time. And I actually like the way this one looks better than my albino. What's up, snake fans? Dave Palumbo here for Muscle Serpents Daily. And guess what? Today we're going to be in the snake room and we're going to be taking a look at some really cool ball pythons. We're going to be trying to feed our water monitors today. We're going to be feeding some other snakes, including Annie Hall, our huge, or soon to be huge, Anaconda. That's right, a green Anaconda. You've seen her since she was 1 day old in my facility. We started out feeding her chicks. She worked her way up to small rats. Now she's eating jumbo rats, or she's going to try to eat one today. So we're going to see if she's going to take that down. And we're going to be cleaning some big boas as well. So Pablo and I might showcase some of those as well. You saw the outdoor enclosure I showed you a couple days ago. Here we're working on cutting some tree branches that fell down from the hurricane to use as cool branches to put into that enclosure. And once we get that all set up and we get the repta chip on the ground, we're going to be putting those olive pythons outside. It actually happens to be really cold here. That's why I'm filming inside today in Cape Coral, which it never really is. It's like in the 50s. So I'm afraid of putting the olive pythons from 78 degrees into then a really, really cold, and it could go down to the 40s tonight. So I don't want to shock them that much. I think it's better to transition them. What people who don't live here don't understand is that we might get a couple days of cold weather and then it'll go right back up to the 90s again. So once it gets warmer again, I'll put the olives outside, and then as it gradually gets a little deeper into the year, we'll start getting cooler temps, and hopefully then they'll start cycling, and then hopefully they'll breed. That's the plan. We're trying to get these olive pythons to breed. I might even put both pairs outside since I've been thinking about it, because I got two sides. I was going to put my male on one side, my female on this side. I might just put them both, two pairs, one pair on each side. That's a possibility as well. So that's going to be exciting. Probably sometime next week we'll be doing that. And once again, you never know what's happening here at the facility. So stay tuned. Let's check out what's going on. What's up, guys? I want to show you a special pickup I just got. I already unboxed it, but I want to show it to you. Actually, I haven't opened this box yet, but I've unboxed it from the main box because I hate trying to pull wrapping off and everything like that. This is a blue-tongued skink in here. I haven't bought one of those in quite a while, and I'll tell you why I spent money to get this thing, because when I saw it, I just had to have it. I didn't even know they were really available here in the United States. I got this from Reptiles by Mac. This is a Taliqua scinquates intermedia, or a ivory. They call it an ivory. In Australia, they call it a northern. And this is a visual. It's a recessive trait. Oh, what a cutie! This is a little guy. Look at this guy. How cute is he? Look at this beauty. I think he's got a red eye, right? Bob, doesn't it look red? This is a recessive trait. They're calling it a hypo here in the United States, but these are called northerns in Australia. They've been there for a while. They're very white. This is one of the whitest ones I've seen. When I saw these guys and they were available, look at that, and they got a pink tongue. Look, blue-tongued skink with a pink tongue. He's cold, he's a little chilly. This is a cutie. Is this cute, Pablo? Come on. Yeah. Look at that guy. This is amazing. I was skeptical. I was like, I don't know if I want to spend money on this, but I always wanted a northern because I wanted to get more white. I like white animals, as you know. I have an albino blue tongue that we have not yet. We haven't been able to get any blue tongues to breed. Hopefully this will be the year we do it. And this is obviously a baby, but at some point, I don't even know what sex it is. They're unsexed. Some point, you hear the roosters in the backdrop. I guess the roosters like the blue tongue. And at some point, we'll get this guy to breed, or this girl to breed. And if we can get this into albino, we can make a really, really white looking blue tongue. So it does have some pattern, as you can see, along its dorsal end. But this is just breathtaking. I'm so happy with this. He actually has a little bit of a blue tongue, but he's got a lot of pink in there too, because the hypo gene removes some, melanin. So this is almost all gone, but it does have some, but that's a pretty pink tongue. He's warming up now in my hand here. Look at that face. Who can't like these things? These are the cutest of all time. And I actually like the way this one looks better than my albino. And I really love the albino. And I love the Aztec ones we have too, but this one is exquisite. So we'll keep an eye on him. I'll give you guys updates once we figure out what sex he is. When he gets a little bigger, we'll be able to see the maturity. And we'll talk about how to sex blue tongues also in a future episode. I just wanted to thank Reptiles by Mac. Beautiful, beautiful blue tongue. I'm so happy. All right, I threw a rat in there. This anaconda is literally laying on the top of this jumbo rat. She will not eat live by any means. We have to give her frozen thawed, which I prefer anyway. Let's see if she grabs it. Or if I gotta like wiggle it or something like that. You would think she'd just grab this thing. I mean, I know she's hungry because we didn't feed her last week. She's the weirdest snake. She's too nice. She likes everyone. If you want to eat, you better grab that rat. She looks like she's hugging it. All right, now she's arching up like a cobra. Maybe she's ready to strike this thing, grab it. And she really doesn't care if you wiggle it. She's just not interested in that. She doesn't care about movement. She just wants to eat. So usually we just put them in there. I don't know what she's taking forever. Maybe she's just performing for the camera here. She's giving me some good video content because I said, you know what, Annie Hall? That's her name. I said, I don't really have any good video content for today. Give me some good video content. Are you deciding to eat a jumbo rat? This is pretty big for her, actually. She doesn't really eat that many jumbos. Usually we give her like larges. I just happened to defrost a jumbo today because I'm going to feed my olive python for the last time, both females, and then I'm putting them into winter lockdown. Yeah, I don't think she's going to do it. Only thing I can think of is it's not maybe as warm as she would like. You know, it might be a little cool from it just was barely defrosted. Come on, Annie Hall. Don't be so snooty. She likes to take her time. I guarantee if my hand was in there smelling like that, she probably wouldn't have any problem. What a beautiful snake though, right? She's one of the prettiest green anacondas I've seen. I handpicked her as a baby. I think I told you guys that when she was 1 day old. And I said, this is the prettiest one. She had the best personality. And she only ate chicks for the first almost year. And she switched to only frozen thawed rats. And that's where we're at now, but I don't know. I don't know if she's gonna eat. She's hasn't decided. I might have to come back and just leave her alone for a few minutes. All right, guys. As you can tell, Pablo and I are cleaning and feeding today, and we have this beautiful labyrinth het sharp albino female here. She's putting on some really nice size. Probably by next year she'll be ready to go, and really good eater. I think we have to move her up to a bigger cage. I think I want to move her to a 4-foot. She's kind of in these like intermediate cages, but we're gonna move her up to bigger. Really nice, very, very well-defined pattern here. She almost looks like she's IMG in a sense, because she has really, really good, definition of these labyrinth saddles. And I think she's gotten nicer. I think a lot of labyrinths get nicer as they get older. I know Pablo wants me to make a video about snakes or boas that get better as they get older, or at least stay as good as they are when they're younger. I would say Labby definitely fits into that category, because they just get, I don't know, I just like their pattern seems to get more defined, which is weird because a lot of boas, as they get bigger, the pattern spreads out and they almost lose it. Like the albinos almost like go blank. They almost look like just a blank slate, like a whitish, yellowish type of look. Whereas the Labbies, they seem to keep this really well-defined pattern here. So as you can see, that's one of the appeals of this gene. And obviously the Super Labby, being the crystal, is a white version of this, which you can't go wrong. And this, all this becomes pink essentially. So awesome, awesome morph. There's our albino water monitor. Front of the cage. I was giving him a little chin rub when he was in the back over there, and then he came to the front of the cage after I closed the cage, which led me to believe that he wanted to get some more attention. He ate his scrambled eggs I gave him. He's got a nice full belly. He's all happy. This guy's really, really doing well with us. And look at that. Look at that beautiful baby. A little scared. I know we're not supposed to end on a negative note, but sometimes they like to run away. Probably the afraid of the camera. We'll play with them again tomorrow. All right, as I suspected, she was taking her time. Now she decided, this is about 15 minutes later, she's decided she's gonna eat it. I don't even think she wrapped it. I think she just put her mouth around it and started swallowing this thing. Once again, that's a pretty big jumbo rat. So that'll hold her for 2 weeks probably. Give her the week off next week. And we'd love to see the Anaconda growing. Ultimately, you know, she's pretty tame, which is what the reason I picked her out. So hopefully she stays like that. So as she gets bigger, we can still take her out and we can do some cool videos. And you know, she's gonna get really thick. These are the thickest, heaviest weighted snakes in the entire world. There's no snake that weighs more than the Anaconda, you know, when they're at their biggest. The retics are longer, but the Anaconda is the heaviest snake in the world. And that's pretty cool, you know. She's got some really nice pattern. Actually, I think her pattern's actually looking nicer as she's getting older. And now that she's able to eat bigger prey, she's probably gonna grow a little faster, I would think. That first year, her growth curve was pretty flat because she was just eating these chicks basically that had no nutritional value. Now she's got these big rats, and we could probably even move to like try a rabbit with her maybe. And all right, I'm gonna leave her in peace and let her swallow this rat. All right, guys, this is my Aztec Motley Sharp Sun Glow female. As you can see, she is definitely up. We gave her a year off. She's definitely up to breeding weight again. She produced a really nice litter for us. Not a big litter, but some really nice babies we produced. We actually have some on Morph Market right now, and she's got some nice size in her. As you can see, you know, like I said, albinos sometimes lose some of their luster as they get older. But if you look at her, she's got a lot of, the Aztec really has, Pablo was mentioning, a lot of blues and pinks in there. And remember, these snakes get a little yellow as they get older, so, but you can just see the purples and blues in her. And so I'm really thinking about possibly breeding my blue line Sun Glow male to this female and seeing what we get, see how blue the babies are. Now, granted, it's only gonna be one blue line to a female that's potentially not really a blue line in a sense, but does have blue tones in it. So we might get some babies that are blue, because remember, this is a polygenic trait, meaning many genes contributing to that blue color. It might just, Aztec might just work really well with that. So I'm thinking about trying that. We're gonna be pairing up all our boas here in the next couple of weeks. I already put a few in with the males, a few males in with the females. Over the next 2 weeks, as we get to the end of the month and we get to November 1st, which is my date usually that I pair stuff up, we'll get all the males in with all the females that we're going to breed. Like I said, I think I'm going to keep it a little more simple this time around, and maybe only pair up 5 or 6 females max. We'll see. She's definitely ready to go, so we're going to pair her up. I'm not even going to feed her anymore. She's not going to get fed for another 8 weeks, 10 weeks. She has plenty of meat on her body, and that's what we want. All right, I had to show you guys Sonic Sal, we call him. Yep, Sal Gomez, and I did a trade 2 weeks ago, and we just got this. This is a chocolate pastel clown female, and I named him Sonic Sal. My kids love Sonic the Hedgehog, the movies, the video game, all that, and in commemoration of Sal Gomez, this is Sonic Sal, even though it's a female. Yeah, it could be Sonic Sally. How about that? South for short. My father's name was Sal too, so there's a lot of double, triple entendres here. And she ate her first meal for me the other day, so all good. Love that chocolate clown. Here's a cool snake that I haven't really shown you guys in a while. We produced this in last year. This is a Dinker project that we've been working on. I had a male Dinker that was looking right out of Africa that looked really crazy. And I bred him to a bunch of females last year. I didn't breed him this past year, but I bred him 2 years ago in 21. And we produced this. I'm kind of calling it the freedom gene right now, but I don't know if it's actually going to prove out to be anything. This is het lavender though. So we produced a couple of these weird looking anomalies. I think the father looks a little crazier than this, and so I don't know if this, I'm assuming this is probably an incomplete dominant type gene, because it does look different than just being normal and just being het lavender. But I mean, it theoretically could be a recessive type of gene, or it might be no gene. It could just be like a polygenic thing, you know. But I definitely see some you know, linked up dorsal stuff going on there, which doesn't look normal. Here's another female from that litter. This one looks more normal-ish, so I tend to believe that this one has got a higher expression, or at least might have the gene, and the other one might not. So, but we're gonna see. You know, you gotta play around with these things. You don't. Who knows what's this is gonna play out to. I'll show you the male in a bit. All right, here is the father of that clutch. As you can see, he has that same connected dorsal patterning that that female I just showed you had. So it looks like she inherited whatever he had. Once again, this is an import right from Africa. I got as a baby, and it's lighter. It has some blushing, but it's really that connected dorsal patterning that looks really kind of weird. And once again, it is lighter than a normal, so I don't know if it's going to prove out to be anything. I just like, you know, I wanted to have one Dinker project in my collection, because it's a lot of work, because you got to breed them out, and you got to keep the babies, and you got to breed the babies back. But you can see this guy definitely is not normal looking by any means. And that female and a couple of the siblings seem to have gotten this same interesting looking patterning from this father. So we'll see. This might, who knows? He might even be a super form of it, or there might be a super form of it. I don't know. So we're going to breed baby to baby at some point, or maybe we'll breed him back to one of his daughters to see if we can bring out something cool. But you always got to have, you know, different projects going on in your collection, and you know, I don't want to have a million Dinker projects, but I wanted to have one, and so this one is kind of pretty cool. And here's a really cool male that I produced in 21. Probably, I think I have him for sale on Morph Market. He's an orange dream pastel clown. He might be fire too. He's kind of lightening up. I was questionable about whether he was fire or not initially, but he has gotten a lot lighter. So this could be pastel fire orange dream clown. Really nice potential if you're looking to produce orange dream clown stuff, orange dream fire clown stuff. Really, really nice male. Look at this male that's still available. Banana, leopard, orange dream, spider, het pied, het hypo. It's a double het hypo pied. The boy, probably ready to breed this year. He's at 21, he's over a year old. Really clean looking. He stayed really clean too. You know, spider, banana, leopard. This may even be Enchi too, to be honest with you. Very clean. I think it is Enchi. There's very few spots, banana spots in this snake whatsoever. Really, really nice reduced pattern. He's gonna make some really nice hypopied stuff. This is a great way to get into a project. Obviously it's a double het rather than a double recessive, which is gonna cost a lot more. And this, you're looking for something to really bring some nice color out in your hypopied project. This male certainly would do justice to that. We're going to end today's video with this gorgeous pastel Hurricane 66% het Monarch. Male, beautiful little boy. If you like Hurricane, this is awesome. And if this guy proves out to be het Monarch, which I think he will, See, he looks exquisite. You're gonna hit pay dirt with this guy. Beautiful, beautiful male. You breed this to just a normal monarch female, and you're gonna make some really nice stuff if this thing proves. And if it doesn't, you're gonna at least have this great look, and it'll be 100%, and all your babies will be 100% het monarch. So you really can't lose here. Beautiful hurricane. One of the nicest hurricane pastels I've ever produced, to be honest with you. Dark, dark. Set off by really yellow, orangey coloration here. And just so you can see the true potential, here is the visual hurricane monarch. So monarch being that T positive line, one of the nicest T positive lines, the most purplish for sure, combined with that dark hurricane. Look at those hurricane swirls there. This is actually sold, this visual. This is going to be sent out next week to one of my customers, and he acted quickly when I put this up initially, and he got lucky because he got a really, really nice male here. And potentially next year he'll be breeding this male and producing maybe some of his own hurricane monarchs. So this male is going to be a lot more expensive, the visual obviously, but what I just showed you, man, if you go for that pastel hurricane 66% het monarch, way more affordable, and you might hit the pay dirt with that one and get some great stuff. All right, guys, that's going to do it for today here at Palumbo's Pythons and Boas. Hopefully you liked today's video. Got to see some big snakes. You got to see my albino water monitor that's getting really, really tamed down. And, well, the other one still has work to do. But the croc monitors, I fed 6 chicks to the female. Female won't eat any rats. She doesn't really seem to like rats. The male likes eating rats. He'll eat anything pretty much. This female, you know, which was very standoffish, I fed her 6 little baby chicks today, frozen thawed, and she gobbled them down one after the other, like she was eating M&Ms or something like that. They just went right down. I use that M&M analogy a lot. That M&M metaphor way too much, I think. But so I take it she likes chicken, so I'm going to go out and buy some drumsticks next time in the supermarket, and I'm going to start feeding her more chicken. I want to give her some stuff that has a little more bone in it, you know, for her calcium and stuff like that. And she's taking them off tongs, which is good. So that means that if I start, you know, continuing to feed her, she's going to see that, you know, I'm a source of food for her, and hope not a source of food for her in the sense that I am food, but that I'm feeding her food, and hopefully she'll become more, you know, used to me, and maybe we can, you know, start getting some interactions with her. Obviously, the male seems to be, you know, pretty good at interacting. We really want to get that female, and then I have to make a decision. Do I want to try to keep these things and build a big enclosure for them, or do I want to, you know, give them back to my friend Shane? I haven't decided yet. If I did decide to keep them, I would want to build an indoor enclosure, and that would mean I would have to get rid of some other stuff and make room, because we just add a room. So it's going to take a lot of space, so I don't know if I want to do it. I think it would look amazing in the room to have a big display cage, but at the same time, you know, I would have to give up probably several racks of boas in that second room that I use. So it's something to think about. And once again, I like to constantly evolve my collection and what my focus is. I'll always be focused on high-end boas and ball pythons and making a white carpet python and hopefully breeding some olives, but you never know where I might go the rest of the way. I'm really liking monitors right now. I hope that Florida doesn't change the laws. And of course, how could I forget or not mention that Ivory blue tongue skink is gorgeous. Some people call it a hypo or super hypo. Some people call it Ivory. In Australia, they call it a northern. They're white, and the more you breed the white to white, you get more and more whites, but it is a recessive trait. So I'm going to grow that one up. I don't know if it's a boy or a girl. We'll find that out as it gets older, and I'm going to try to breed it into the blue tongues. Now, unfortunately, I can hardly call myself a blue tongue breeder because I haven't made any babies yet, but hopefully this year we're going to finally do it. So we're going to start cooling the adults down, and that little baby cutie we got is not going to be ready till next year probably, or maybe even, who knows, maybe a year after that, I don't know. But for certain, we have some mature adults that need to be cooled and then paired up in probably 10 weeks from now. So a lot of excitement here. We got a really nice clutch that's hatching in the incubator. We'll show you that tomorrow. For now, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications, hit that like button. I'll see you back tomorrow morning.